is the Redzone channel of YTAC Rocket League, in case you wanted to know.
Solid effort. The rest of the teammates weren't able to step it up as much. As you see, one come out from Dolly as well. But Bubba was on the losing side of a match where Bubba did just about everything.
You saw that move by Dolly right there, right?
Yeah.
Dolly had that nice on the wall kind of double touch and put it in. Dolly was one of the people. Of course, we love to see females in esports and in these competitions who came in, and she was part of the YTAC summer cohort. Wasn't really a material gamer at that point. Came in, was at the bottom of the barrel, so to speak, as we kind of initially assessed them. By the third week, we were all like, she was crushing people at Valorant, at Rocket League, at Call of Duty, at League of Legends, because we did multiple titles. I mean, when this young lady went from 0 to 100 in 3 weeks, we were blown away at what somebody can accomplish. And now you're seeing her skill level a couple months later, scoring on double touches.
Leading her team, too. Yeah, that's an awesome story because, you know, a lot of people, they just have that natural feel of just video games. Like, just give me whatever title you want, and I'm going to be up at the top. This is competitive. So,
I think we need to remember the fact here that these kids are going through a lot right now. In this time of COVID, in this time of many of them, most of them, almost all of them remote learning, they're sitting in front of a computer, in front of a Zoom screen all day. These juniors, but particularly the seniors, lost so many rites of passage. I think it's important as we press them to be as good as they can be, both from a STEM and coding perspective, but also from an esports and gaming perspective with their coaches. We take this serious. This isn't, hey, go around here and game. We want them to get better. We want them to see and something they're already passionate about can be even more. And I think that as we're looking at what we're seeing here, it's important that we, on one side of the coin, continue to put the pressure on their coaches, to put the pressure on them to get better, but also recognize the fact that, you know, there's been over 80 people, their friends, many of their classmates, who don't have the rites of passage of watching their football and basketball teams play against their rivals, who don't get to be able to root on their stars. Maybe they're getting a little tiny taste of that back. And I know I am grateful to be a part of a team that's providing that opportunity.
Lucky Charms facing off with Fruit Loops now as we hop into this one on the brand new map. Actually, this was in the update that came out yesterday. So check out this beautiful field in Rocket League that they had just added. I think it's a hip hop feel for the new season, and it looks so clean in my opinion. So cool.
Demos all around, a lot of serious play. We're getting to see Toxic Swift once again go against this this really strong Lucky Charms team. Great talent. I've seen Redzone play over the last week, and I've seen a huge performance improvement in that time, but they may have too much, have bitten off more than they can chew with this really strong Fruit Loops team with Toxic Swift there at the helm.
Oh, Lord almost got one to go, but again, it's Toxic from that back wall to clear things out of harm's way yet again. And Lord Zek, actually, we saw a lot of great defense out of Lord Zek yesterday, but Toxic is just running on a whole different level, staying on the back wall, because if a shot goes high, you can just easily clear it off, and that was something that we saw just in that defensive sequence alone.
Redzone just did exactly what I was about to call out. I said, we need to take out Toxic Swift. He's doing too good. He's honestly on a whole nother level than all these guys, and I think everyone can agree with that. Look at this, but Redzone did exactly what I said, started demoing Toxic Swift. Let's get him out of here, keep resetting him and putting him back to his spawn, and yeah, just keep trying to demo. Redzone, as you can see, try to do it again. Wow. And that time we got Xavier the goal that time.
I mean, you can't choose who you're going to be up against, and sometimes you're going to be up against people that are better than you. I like the strategy. Redzone is clearly having good comms with this team, and he's got a strategy. If we can't beat him, we're going to kill him.
Take him out. take him out where it hurts, because you'll even see this in the pros. You talk about Turbo Pulsa, a 4-time world champion in Rocket League, and do you think they sleep on it? As you see Lucky Charms coming back within 2. I think Pathfinder is probably going to be happy about that one.
Ryzen took a little break from the demos and said, "You know what? I'm gonna pop one in the back of the old peach basket." I think that's what they used to call Rocket League goals back in the day.
That was against Toxic too. I think.
How
Toxic
did you know? What a crazy guess. No, we talk about Turbo Pulse, a 4-time world champion for Rocket League. Game plans, even at that top level, get made around a player of that caliber, right? LeBron James, same thing, right? You have to make a game plan that incorporates that level of skill. So we saw also an adjustment, but again, Fruit Loops coming back at him. That's a hat trick yet again.
Look at this. Look at this.
Toxic.
If you don't know what Rocket League is, let me tell you, that is some high caliber aerial play right there. If you think, oh, he just pressed the up button, that ain't how it works, folks.
I'm just gonna say, after the stream, I'm going to be messaging Toxic Swift, and he will be giving me lessons later tonight. That's final as that. And if I can start doing that, I will be helping my team.
Again, another flick. That's clever too, because sometimes it's a boomer, a high velocity shot that gets the job done, but sometimes it's fine-tuned touches, goes right behind Lord Zek. And I talked about how solid Lord Zek's defense was yesterday, so that's not easy to do either. Gets it done.
Toxic is, I'm getting flashbacks to the summer YTAC cohort. Nice. Where Toxic Flame, his older brother, was just simply like, no one could beat him. No one could touch him. And I mean, it was like a man amongst children, right? And unfortunately, we're seeing similar dominance here, but can 3 people figure out how to work hard, practice, and do comms and eventually take this guy down as a team? That's the question.
Now, I don't know if Lucky Charms has gotten their first win. Is this their first game tonight, or?
Can't be.
I know they started out 0-4 tonight, though. So,
yeah.
But I will say, though, on that team, Redzone looks like their MVP, at least for tonight, of what we've seen. Even trying to do the strategic, taking out Toxic, which, like I said, that's if you can't join him, then kill him. I like that analogy. So.
We're able to say esports is where you are. Let us show you how esports and STEM education relate to each other. And let's bridge that with our dear friends out of Cary, North Carolina, Epic Games. If you didn't know them before this year, you certainly do now. Their Unreal Engine allows us to have a game building competition that bridges and shows how all of this works. It's not just a nonprofit's way to give back and help during a critical time in COVID right now, but it's also a way for us to impact upward mobility, equity, diversity, workforce training. This cohort is nearly 70% people of color. It's nearly 20% female. And those are stats in esports, in coding, in technology, in banking that we need to duplicate. With that, Bearlight, discounts, what do you think? What do we have in store?
I mean, I had the pleasure of casting last night when we kicked things off, and let me tell you, it's incredible to see the progress that these students are making. The opportunity to hop on the Rocket League pitch, some of them for the very first time ever. I saw a lot of growth already, and we're talking about one day. A lot of these students, again, just started a week ago. It was an absolute pleasure watching these kids get out and build these necessary skills like communication, teamwork, and you'll just continue to see more of the same tonight as the Rocket League action is definitely building. As we see some of our top performers here too. Sabishi is a name that I talked about a lot in the last stream, and you see an average. These are averages as far as the numbers go. So 3 goals a game. That's a hat trick a game. That's incredible. So you'll have to realize that some players will pick it up a little bit faster than other players, but that does not mean that they are necessarily going to be better at the game. It's all about work ethic and other things like that as well. But we bring you into game number 2 here. It's Honey Nut facing off with Fruit Loops. We'll get to know the players a little bit better. Again, it is day 2. We have Boop, Stewie Gangster, and Cynirix. Cynerics, right? It's got to be Cynerics on
Um,
Honey Nut.
Ooh.
Fruit Loops, Toxic, like Tark had mentioned before, Xavier and Shane Man. But right now, Honey Nut doing a great job to keep with it. And they're able to pull it back within one with just 29 seconds remaining.
This is a very competitive game. I can only assume we're in Division 1 now. The speed is at a different level.
Yeah, this is a lot faster gameplay. You see the boost being used already off the start for us just hopping in this game.
Oh,
And
yeah.
20 seconds left, and you need Honey Nut needs to make a play here. Right now, they got the ball back into their own side, so they're going to have to clear this ball out, which is a great job by Boop getting the ball out. This is their chance right now. But
They've got
Toxic
to.
Swift gets the
Go!
stop up the middle, and down there it is. If you see how Mr. B Wank's playing, like he's basically leading the way for his team. But if you watch, CPU hard mode is just right on his tail. So if they spread out, these goals could be avoided.
So we're seeing a little bit of Pee Wee League soccer where everyone is huddling up on the ball here, as Coach Tails would have told us. And he gave in his coaching session a detailed analysis of why not to do that. I expect better from this team. This team has enough skill already in their rankings to show it that they should not be doing that. And if Mr. Blank sees that happening with CPU hard mode, they offline need to correct that in practice.
100% do, because it looks like they're about to take a halftime and eat some orange peels when really it's time for higher level gameplay. Make sure you have that spacing. Make sure you have those rotations. As CPU hard mode able to get it past one. Here's Mr. Markers setting up Mr. Blank, but unfortunately couldn't get around it. Now CPU, it's up to him. Great rotations now coming out, and a quick fix. Sometimes it's hard to make adjustments during the game, but it looks like so far they're definitely looking to make those adjustments. It might just be a little bit too late.
Yeah, I would have to say so myself, but watching Mr. Blank, like he's in the right position. Like he's let his team kind of work. He did miss that save right there. I think that could turn into a goal, but is
Mr. Markers, nice save.
Yeah, that was big. See if they can get on the offensive side.
Another thing to notate as well, you saw Dolly jump out for that one from the wall. One of the ways to skyrocket your skill level in esports in general, but definitely in Rocket League as well, is to not hesitate. Go for those attempts, because if you get up, you're confident in your abilities to do so. Even if you do take a miss or two, especially when you're in training, go for those angles, go for those shots, because you'll definitely see the improvement in your gameplay. And when you hesitate and you give the opponents room, that's when you get scored on.
Yeah. And then we'll be back here at 5:45 sharp on to 704 Squad channel on Twitch, rotating from right now with the Redzone style channel to that March Madness in December. It's going to be December to remember.